A very good morning, students, and let us start the new topic, public debt. In this topic, we are going to discuss classification of public debt, then the burden of public debt. That is what the entire topic is covered in that. So first of all, we will start with meaning and classification of public debt. Public debt means the loans raised by the government, and they are of different kinds and classified as follows. Number 1, productive and unproductive debt. Public debt is said to be productive when it is raised for productive purposes. For example, if the money is borrowed and it is invested in the construction of railways, irrigation projects, power generations, etc., it adds to the productive capacity of the economy and also provides continuous flow of income to the government. So it is a productive loan. Next, unproductive debt are those which do not add to the productive capacity of the economy. Such debts are not necessarily self-liquidating. They are not termed as a dead weight. They are also termed as dead weight debt. And public debt used for war, famine, relief, social services, etc. is considered as unproductive debt. Next, voluntary and compulsory debt. Public debts may be incurred through voluntary and compulsory loans. Generally, public loans are voluntary in nature. In this case, the government makes an announcement regarding the floating of loans. On the other hand, compulsory loans are those which are raised by using coercive methods. The rate of interest of such loans may be very low. Next, internal and external debt. Internal loans are raised within the country and subscribed mainly by its own citizens or institutions. It is repayable only in domestic currency. External loans are raised from foreign countries or international institutions. These loans are repayable in foreign currency. Next, short-term, medium-term and long-term debt. Here the basis of classification is duration of loans. Short-term debt matures within a duration of 3 to 12 months and generally the rate of interest is low. Long-term debt has a maturity period of 10 years or more and the rate of interest is high. Medium-term debt has a maturity period between short-term and long-term loans. Next, redeemable and irredeemable debt. Redeemable debt is repaid at some specific future date, and so government has to make arrangement for repayment of interest and principal amount within a specific time period. In case of irredeemable debt, no definite date for final repayment is promised, but the rate of interest is paid regularly. Since the maturity period is not fixed, such loans create a burden as taxes would be raised to pay them in future. Next, funded and unfunded debts. The basis of division is duration of the loan. Funded debt has a maturity period of at least 12 months at the time of issue. The period is generally longer than this and it may be even 30 years or more. Funded debt has an obligation to pay a fixed sum of interest subject to an option to the government to repay the principal. The government may repay it even before the maturity if the market conditions are favorable. Unfunded debt has an obligation to pay at the due date with interest. In such debts, duration is comparatively short, say for a year. Unfunded debts are incurred to meet temporary needs of the government. The rate of interest is low and it is also known as floating debt. Now we'll discuss the next point, burden of public debt. Burden of internal debt. Internal public debt has many implications which results in different types of burden. It is increasing inequality. Generally, richer section of people hold government securities. That means they generally lend to the government. It adversely affects the ability and desire to work, save and invest. Taxation is required to pay off debts. This may reduce production and adversely affect the ability and desire to work, save and invest. Next, it transfers purchasing power from younger to the older generation. Generally, government bonds are held by the older generation with savings, but taxes are paid by the younger generation. Thus, the ability as well as desire to work, save and invest of younger generation may be reduced. There is a transfer of purchasing power from younger generation to the older generation. Burden of war financing. Public debts incurred during the period of emergency like war involve a greater real burden. In such situations, the government may have to borrow huge amount at high rate of interest. Next, burden of unproductive debt. When the public debt is used for unproductive purposes, it will create adverse effects on the economy. Next, reduce private investment. Public debt may also reduce private investment. It will reduce the funds available to the private sector. The burden of external debt. External public debt has many implications which results in different types of burden as discussed below. The direct money burden. It is equal to the sum of money payments for the principal and the interest made to the external creditors. The direct real burden. It is measured in terms of loss of welfare suffered by the people of the debtor country due to repayment of debt. The indirect money burden and indirect real burden. This may be measured in terms of effects of production and allocation of resources. Burden of unproductive foreign debt. If the external debt is used for unproductive purposes, it will create a greater burden to the community. Next, foreign currency burden. Repayment of external debt has to be made in foreign currency. The debtor countries' demand for foreign currency will increase. This is likely to lead a decline in exchange rate of debtor country, which may lead to foreign exchange crisis causing real burden. Next, domination by creditor country. The creditor country may dominate the debtor country in various spheres. The debtor country may be forced to take decisions which may generate more benefits to the creditor country. Now, next point is shifting of debt burden. Factors affecting shifting of burden. Whether the burden of public debt is borne by a future generation or not depends on many factors. Productive or unproductive loan. The loan raised for the productive purposes may not create burden on future generation, since it will create asset It will add to the productive capacity of the economy. If it is used for unproductive purposes like war, it will shift the burden to the future generation. Next, sacrificing current consumption or investment. Whether burden will shift or not also depends on whether present generation pays off debt by sacrificing current consumption or investment. Next, short term and long term loans. If loans are short term, it can be repaid by current generation. This will not shift the burden. In case of long term loans, shifting of burden will depend on whether the loan is self liquidating or dead weight. So this is what you have to write in the question. Now I'll give you the questions which are important in this topic and how you have to write the answer. Number one question can be explain the meaning and classification of public debt. Here you have to give this all the 6 points. The second question, what are the burden of public debt? Explain the burden of public debt, then internal burden, external burden and shifting of debt burden. You have to cover everything. These are the 2 important questions in this topic. Students, here we finished module 3. Thank you very much.